Hey Blockheads, this is DJ AK the Amanda Knight, and I'm here to let you know that my so-called whatever podcast and No More Games Radio have joined forces. Listen to No More Games Radio on Sundays at 2 p.m. for your favorite episodes of my so-called whatever podcast, and maybe a live episode? Who knows? Tune in to my so-called whatever podcast for upcoming No More Games radio features and exclusive stories from our staff and DJs. And as always, follow us on social media at No More Games Radio and at my so-called whatever. Hang tough!
Friends forever, that's what we are. Through the thick and the thin, we're friendship stars. We're banger main buddies from the days of old. We laugh, cry, and hug, friendship solid gold. My circle, whatever started a year ago. We share our stories and your stories were told. 80s, 90s memories that give us glee. And on the block party shows, NKOTB. Now our friendship circle has grown by far. Hashtag friends forever, that's what we all are. Boom. And if you don't know, now you know. My so-called whatever for life. Hashtag MSCW. Hashtag friends forever. Yeah. Yeah.
Got it.
Okay. So, should we just get into it, Brooke?
Well, yeah, why don't we
Let's
intro?
just intro. Let's do it.
Okay, this is Brooke.
And this is Nikki.
And this is Kelly.
And this is my so-called whatever.
Yay, special guest. Special guest.
We are so excited to have Kelly here. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
You
So
guys-
excited.
Thank you guys so much for having me. And congrats on it's 5 years, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, congratulations on that.
Thank you. We got to
That's
celebrate
crazy.
at the Boston show because our 5-year anniversary was on the 16th. So it was actually the second Boston show. So
That's amazing.
it was really cool. We met Kelly. Well, not really. This is the first time we've actually met and have talked, but Kelly has an amazing TikTok account.
Aw.
And immediately Brooke and I were like, oh, we want to be friends with her.
Aw.
This girl is cool because you
Aw.
do so many cool things, and I'll let you talk about that too later. But the biggest takeaway is the amazing replay. I don't know the word for it, but you recreate the scenes from 80s movies
Yeah.
and 90s movies,
Oh my gosh.
and it's amazing. So
Oh,
cool.
You're so sweet. So I love checking out filming locations. It's always kind of been
It's my
thing.
favorite.
I love it, right? Whenever I go to a new place, I'm like, during the pandemic, that's when I joined TikTok, which I feel like a lot of people did, and there wasn't much to do, right? So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go check out more filming locations. And so I really started going around LA. It's where I live, and also I'm from Chicago. So between LA and Chicago, I started doing all these filming locations. But then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take it a step farther, and I'm gonna recreate
So
the actual scene at the actual location. And it's so funny because a lot of people are like, is that really the location? And I'm like, yes. And one of my favorite things is that I went to do Clueless at the school, and Alicia Silverstone commented, and it was like, oh my God. So
that was insane. I saw that.
so cool. That was so cool. But yeah, I've done Breakfast Club and Home Alone and 16 Candles, and I don't know what's next on my list yet. But it's just been really fun. It's just been a little niche that I kind of fell into, and it's been really fun. So thank you for your words.
I love that your parents help you.
I know. I love the Breakfast Club one.
Oh my gosh. Well, the funny story about that real quick is that school is now a police station.
Oh.
And we were filming, and they came out and they were like, you have 5 more minutes. And so we had to film so quick, and I had to do all those costume changes within seconds. And anyway, it still came out, but we were that's the kind of thing, when we're filming, we're kind of, just going there, and it should be okay. And when my dad and I did the Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, I have to say the homeowner was so nice. He came out and he said, "Hey, if you need to come to the front of our door, go ahead." And I'm like, "Oh, you guys are so nice." So that was a great experience. But yes, having my parents along with it has been great. My mom has been an awesome, she's videotaped a lot of them and she's done an amazing job with that. So yes, but I can't wait to do the next one. I'm not sure what it is yet. So yeah, we'll see.
So cool.
What I wanted to ask you, what is your favorite filming location that you've like found?
So my favorite one that was my dream bucket list ever was the Goonies.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was my favorite one of yours.
Oh yes, it was. Oh my gosh, that was just a dream. And we were able to actually go up to the house. They've had different owners and people have had all different experiences where some
Yeah.
people haven't been able to go up. We were very lucky and got to go up and we were the only people there. And so it was so cool. It was I can't wait just to go back. Like I didn't the one place I didn't get to go was the beach. I think we forgot around out of time. I wanted to go to the beach, but yeah, it's just my favorite movie of all time. So yeah,
That's
amazing.
so cool.
Have you been? Have you been?
No.
I haven't been. I would love to go. But
it's so pretty anyway.
I was watching I don't know, I got into a deep dive like several weeks back about the Goonies house and I did read about different people having different experiences based on who the owners were at the time, and that I think there were some that were like not so cool with it, and but then I think that maybe now whoever owns it might be better. I don't know what the timeline was. I don't remember, but I just remember thinking like, oh my gosh, that's so cool because that movie is like childhood.
It is. They're actually making a TV show. It's like Goonies inspired. It's an interesting concept. I don't want to like get it wrong, but it's not the Goonies, but there's like a group of kids who are like trying to recreate Goonies for like a school project, but I'm not sure if that's what's happening. But it's going to be on Disney Plus, and that is my dream to be able to write on that show. So I'm putting it out there.
That's so cool.
Putting it in the universe.
Yes.
In the universe forever. Yes. But yeah, Oregon's just a really pretty place in general. So yeah, you got to check it out. Classic.
That's so cool.
Our friend Mandy just went, right? Mandy just went with her sisters.
She did. Yes.
Yeah. And they took pictures on the beach and by the house. And
awesome.
yeah. So
it's so cool.
It's such a cool location.
And the jail there is actually the museum. It's a Goonies museum. So the jail that they use in that and again, I went so long ago, I'm sure this is all still there. But it's now a museum, which is really cool. So
cool.
That is really cool. Oh my gosh. I wish I could go. Let's go.
Yes.
Nikki, let's go. Let's hop on a plane and let's go.
We just need like a 2-week West Coast trip, in all honesty.
We really do.
And we can meet and I can take you guys to filming locations.
Yeah.
I love that so much.
That'd be so fun.
I want to go to the Clueless Mall.
Oh, I live right next to the Clueless Mall. I do.
I love that so much.
Yes. Oh, and I got in trouble a little bit for that too. I'm telling you, it's like filming these. Like, I'm just glad I haven't been arrested doing these filming locations. But the security they were just making. They didn't know what was going on, and so because I had to repeat it like multiple times, I had to wait for people to go up the escalator. Like, okay, go. I don't like to get people in my shot. Like, I'm somebody who. I don't ever want to put somebody on the internet who doesn't want, you know what I mean? Like I'm very protective of that. So I was like, okay, I don't want anybody in the shot. So anyway, yes, we had to do multiple takes. I'm sure people were like, what is this girl doing?
That's so cool. Oh my word. Like we only have like one filming location here.
What is your biggest one? Oh,
it's Pet Cemetery.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one.
So, because Stephen King is from Bangor, where we live, and so there's a cemetery that it's called Mount Hope Cemetery, and it's like the second garden cemetery in the United States. It was made so like you'd actually go and like picnic there, like. It's a park.
It's beautiful.
It's gorgeous. So we go there all the time to like walk, but it's really neat because people will drive constantly, and there's also a tour bus that goes through and to see the location, and it's just one location when Stephen King was actually in the movie and he was like the pastor, and they're burying Who are they burying? I can't remember.
I don't remember.
I think it was Gage. I think it was Gage. But yeah, so I think that's our only movie
Didn't they
location.
film the Langoliers at the airport?
Oh, that's right. That's right. They did film the Langoliers at the airport. That movie.
I don't even know that movie. Why do I not know that movie?
It was like a
watch
TV
it.
movie.
It's
got it.
it's
Okay, so
definitely low budget.
okay.
But it's Stephen King, right?
Right, it's Stephen King.
It's Stephen King. So like that makes sense.
Okay. Oh yeah, no, it's still one of my I still get so scared of that book and movie of Stephen King. So
Yeah,
I'm making a TV show of that too.
Oh, really?
Of it,
Wow.
yeah. I know.
That's kind of it's just one of those movies that like my daughter watched it and she's like, why did you think this was so scary? I'm like, Bren, you don't understand. Like this was like, not only was it scary, but it was filmed here. Like, so like there's all over the place, like all over the city, and surrounding towns and stuff. So it's like, oh yeah, that's like, it just made it like more creepy, I guess, because like, sorry, my dog is barking because my son is coming home.
Aww.
Go get him. Go get him.
Go get him.
Oh my.
But the thing with Stephen King, I think, and I'm not a Stephen King connoisseur. Like it's not my genre.
No.
However, the thing with Stephen King that makes it so scary, I think, is it's not like overtly like gory or anything like that. It's like psychological.
Yes.
And that's what's scary about it, because like Freddy Krueger doesn't scare me.
I agree. And Freddy Krueger and Jason, none of them really scare me. Yeah,
no,
not the
but like when they get in your head, that's scary.
Yeah,
that sticks with you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, Kelly, because you are our age, like you
42. Like
same.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're all the same age. So we know, like, we were 7 and 8 years old watching these movies in our like at a friend's sleepover in their parents' living room with the couch with like the deer and like wood scene on it. Like we were all there.
We were.
And that is, I mean, that it stays with you.
Oh, I went to the Poltergeist house here.
I saw
that movie. I rewatched it, and it's actually, they didn't have ratings then. It was rated PG in 1982 because they didn't have a rating system yet. That would never be rated PG.
No. I watched it when that's
a good one.
I was very young, like way too young to watch it. And so a lot of my, like, this is like serious, like a lot of my fears, like my irrational fears stem from that movie. Like I'm terrified of tornadoes. Maine doesn't get tornadoes, but I'm terrified of them because there's one scene in the movie. I didn't realize it until Brooke and I did a rewatch and we did an episode on it. And I'm like, Brooke, oh my God. Like I was terrified when we were building our new house that we were going to dig up people.
Hey. Oh gosh. No, it's in Carolyn. It's just, oh my, well, there's so much. If you go and read the history of that movie, there's so many like bad things that happen. Like a couple people died, and there's just all these like just crazy things about that movie in general.
So weird. Like so many weird things. Yeah. So not only are you like a movie location connoisseur, but you're also a boy band connoisseur.
Yes, 100%. I think we'd all ace that if there was a class.
I did say that word correctly, right? Connoisseur?
Yeah.
Okay.
We would ace boy band 101.
Yes. So tell us a little bit about your boy band history.
So I feel like a lot of us, so New Kids on the Block were my first concert at 10 years old, and my mom took 3 of my friends and we were in the lawn, still far away.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, look I can barely see them. So I only saw one concert because at 10, I just wasn't that age to be able to go around and go to different cities and everything. But and then obviously NSYNC and Backstreet Boys, O Town 80 Degrees, all those great bands came, and I felt like, what was it, like 8 years later, it's just like, oh, this boy band, like my love of boy bands just never went away. And so had amazing experiences during those years. And then, I mean, how awesome that, Backstreet Boys are still performing, O Town's performing, 90 Degrees, and the New Kids on the Block came back. It's like, I just don't feel like, I still just feel like a kid. Like I just, like they just make me feel, they all make us feel so young and just, but yeah, I've made so many amazing friends because of boy bands. Like I try to tell people that, they're like, oh, where'd you guys meet? So, oh, work, right? I'm like, no, like they're one of my best friends now. We met because we have a love of boy bands. And, I think that's one of the coolest things about this boy band fandom is that the friends that you make are just so lifelong. So
yes, it's so true. And Brooke and I really didn't experience that until, well, 5 years ago.
Right.
But now, I mean, I can't imagine our life without the friends that we've made because of this boy band.
Yeah,
it's insane. It's so cool.
It's in the way that people have come together outside of, it's like, it's, loving the same boy band is one thing, but being able to be there for each other for other things is when, like they're more than even just a boy band friend. That's kind of how, you kind of forget, you're like, oh yeah, we met because of boy band, but it doesn't feel like it because you're like a true friend. So,
Right.
Yes.
But what's great is when it's like I call it concert season. Is I love going and seeing people that maybe I haven't seen. And, I'm really not on Facebook and Instagram anymore. I'm really only on TikTok. So I kind of don't really know what's going on all the time with everybody. So it's kind of fun to be like, hey, like, how's life in real life, like in person. And so that's always so fun. One of my favorite things about, going to the concerts. Feels like one big happy family.
Yes.
It is. It's like a family reunion every time.
Yes.
So what could, like, I'm sure you've had so many experiences because you live in LA, right?
Right.
So tell us some of your like favorite experiences that you've had with like any boy band.
Okay. Well, there's like this weird thing. I was like, I've been on 2 talk shows, had a moment with New Kids. So last year I got to ask a question on Kelly Clarkson.
That's right. I saw
which
that.
was like, I just sent in a video. Everything was just random. Like I just happened to get picked. And, that was like, and I love Kelly Clarkson and I love New Kids on the Block. So like, I was so nervous. And when I spoke, I did not remember anything. And they changed my question right before, and I had a different question memorized. And so then I was even more nervous because I was like, oh my God, what if I ask the wrong question? And so I was like, it's okay, Kelly, you got this. And, but so that was really cool. And then, gosh, when was it, like 2000? Oh, I'm so bad at dates. That's the one thing I'm really bad about when it comes to boy bands. Like, I don't remember dates, but I went to the George Lopez show here in LA when Jordan Knight performed. And I did not know this was going to happen. And he just came down and started dancing with me like on live TV. And I thought I was going to like a faint. I'm not usually like that, but I didn't know it was going to happen. No one came up to me and says, hey, Jordan's going to come down and dance with you. And because a lot of times for television, they have stuff planned, they go in and they say, okay, you're going to dance with her. You're going to do this. And so he came down and just started dancing and I just went with it. And I had like this huge pimple on my face and my whole time is going, oh my God, is he staring at the pimple on my face?
Oh my gosh.
And so I know that sounds ridiculous, but like, I was just in shock of like everything. And so after he sang to me, like my knees like were shaking, like I thought I was going to like faint. I was just in shock that it even happened. And so what I love is that, I went into the show. I think that's such a great thing about being a boy band fan is having low expectations. I just went in. I felt lucky. I was at the show. It was like the day after my birthday too. It was like, I was lucky just to be at the taping. Right. And then like something like that happens. It's just that surprise, right? Like I didn't go in thinking anything was going to happen. Right. So that's kind of the cool thing about living in LA is that we do have, these tapings to be able to go to. And, you even run into a new kid on the block. My friend and I went to a taping of American Idol, and we went to go to a restaurant after, and all of a sudden we hear this voice, and my best friend's like, oh my God, I think that's Joe. We're like, no way, no way. And we're walking, and he's coming out like as we're coming in. And it was just like one of those like just crazy, like just the timing of that, right? He wasn't even at American Idol. I think he was just there with his family. It was just like one of those like
Oh my
weird,
gosh.
like just run into, and this is what they were on tour because it was summer. I think they were doing the second leg of the reunion tour. I believe that's what it was. Again, I have a date. So we were just like, oh my God, we just saw you and stuff like that. And he was so nice and took a picture. He was so sweet. So the cool thing about LA is like sometimes you kind of get those magical moments, which is really fun. And I love all the boy bands. Like I really do. And I feel like each one, just kind of has a special place in your heart. And maybe you had a certain moment. And one thing I thought was fun to talk about is like second chances, because I think a lot of us, right, we never thought we'd get to meet New Kids on the Block.
No.
Right?
No.
Like having an ultimate with New Kids on the Block is like, oh, like seriously, like when I try to tell people, I'm like, no, you're like in a room with them. It's like just you and them. It's like my 10-year-old self always is like but our 10-year-old selves would never believe like any of this, right?
No.
Like
No, never.
Absolutely not. It's insane.
Right? Like and when I used to work like some red carpets and interview celebrities, and I did the Annapolis premiere, which Donnie was in, and this was before the reunion was going to happen. And he walked down the carpet, he was in a rush, and I was like, oh, I like really wanted to meet Donnie, like, oh my, but I just yelled Donnie, and he came back. I was like, oh my God, he came back for me. And I was like, can we get a picture? Because like I didn't even have time to ask for like any interview questions. They were like in a rush to get to the maybe take pictures with the other people. But and so anyway, my picture did not come out. Like he's like there's like a big light. This is before we had phones. This was like, regular camera, and like there was a big light shining, and like he's like his head's like right here, like he was like kissing me in the cheek, but his head was right here. It's just, I was like, oh my God, that was my one time I was gonna meet Donnie. But then flash forward, and it's like,
oh my gosh,
like, you know what I mean? You're like in that moment, you're like, oh my gosh. But I was so happy, right? I was like, you know what? I got to meet him and got a kiss in the cheek. Like that's enough. Like that was my 10-year-old dream. And then I just feel like you look back and you're just like, oh my gosh, like all this, like getting to meet them. It's like, we're so lucky that they're still doing this. And
yes.
I know that I just appreciate that they're going to meet their fans and they take the time, and we're all getting older, right? Like they got to stay there for a long time. So
yeah,
like I appreciate that they're still performing, and that we're getting, to have like, I look forward to, I wish tour season was wish they toured every year, but I understand.
I totally get it. Yeah.
I was like, I get it, but it's like, but no, it's like, I mean, I've had a lot of, a lot of experiences, but I'm just grateful for them all and stuff. So
how did you and your mom get to be an extra on the line?
Oh yes, yes. Well, they were filming in Chicago, and I was still living in Chicago then before I
that's so
LA.
Cool.
And so I was like, oh my gosh, I have to it's like I have to work on this movie, And so we just happened to get picked, and we were in the train scene. I can't believe we actually made it into the film, which was really fun. And I don't remember too much. I mean, it wasn't like, it was just I believe it was just one day of filming. But yeah, it was really fun. And then I actually got to work with Joey on Dancing with the Stars.
That's amazing.
So yeah, so it's
cool.
like, it's just all these like, you're just like, what is life? Like, let me just pinch myself. Like, again, younger self wouldn't believe any of this. So yeah, and he's hilarious and so sweet and so nice, and just as funny as like you ever thought. You know what I mean? Like he's exactly, who he is.
We love your
Joey.
recreations, your dance, like you guys do like the little, you're like dancing, and you've done the picture like multiple times. Where you're like dance with Joe.
Oh yes, Joe, yes. So I I started it on my first ultimate, and he was on Dancing with the Stars, and I just was like, I don't know, I just like doing a fun dance, dance picture with him. So I've kind of kept it as a tradition, yeah, which has been really fun. So I don't even know if he realizes it. Like he's just, I feel like I just need to do like a collage and be like, but yeah, no, it's kind of that fun little tradition I've like done. So do you guys have any little traditions that you guys do?
I just try to not pass out.
Yeah, right. I try to say something.
Say something, right?
I try to say something and I usually get it out, but sometimes it's like I tell Jordan not to be afraid. Don't be scared. Don't be afraid.
Oh.
And then he's afraid.
This was the first year I didn't say I've been waiting for this my whole life.
So that's something.
Yeah, every time I would meet them, I would say, I've been waiting for this my whole life. And I'd be like, why did I say that? Should have said something different. Why did I say that? But I had an ultimate this year, and
was this your first or no?
This was my first.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And
yes.
I had to keep like thinking like, what the hell is happening right now? Like, this is real. Like, this is real life. It's really happening. And I still haven't wrapped my head around it because, people will, and I'm sure you get it too. The people that aren't in the fandom, like the people that aren't, they're like, oh my gosh, you guys friends? Like, do you guys hang out?
Yeah.
They must know your names by now. And I'm like, no, but thanks. Like, I wish we were friends.
Thanks. I like to think so, but
And I'm like, I paid for that. Like, I don't know if you ever get that. I'm like, I paid for that.
Right.
Like, wasn't like, hey, why don't you come hang out with us, Kelly?
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
I paid a little bit of money for that.
Right. And then people, of course, are like, well, how much? I'm like, you know what? I don't need to tell you.
I need to tell you. No.
That's a tacky question.
That is a tacky
question. I always tell people, I spend my money on concerts. I spend my money on boy bands. That is my thing. You know what I mean? Like everyone has their thing, and it's like, yeah, it's no one's business. So yeah.
Other people have NASCAR. They have going to baseball games, seeing the same team play over and over and over again. So what's the difference? There's no difference.
There is no difference.
This is just our hobby and we love it. And
love it. And every concert you get, like, people are like, well, it's the same concert. I said, no, it's not, because I'm sitting somewhere different. You're going to see a different interaction, like every single concert. What I started to do is I started to write down after every concert, like anything cool that happened, because it's so easy to forget. So I have like a note section that like every tour I'll go back with my best friend Molly and be like, I'll read stuff and be like, oh, like remember this and this, because it's so easy to forget, It's
it
just
is.
those little moments. And a little moment to somebody else is a big moment to us. Like when they wink or they wave or something, it is like, right? It's like, I don't know. You're just like, you're like, oh.
Right. Right. And then like they're looking kind of towards you and you're like, what's up?
You're like, is it me?
Is that for me?
Yeah. Yeah. It's
I'll just take it. It was for me. I'll take it.
Right. I'll take that.
Oh my gosh. So
I love that.
Did you go to the first reunion concert, like, when they first reunited?
Yeah. So we went, we only went to a couple shows. I think I just went to the LA shows. And so it was my best friend's first show because she didn't go when she was 10. And so, it was just, but I didn't even do meet and greets like for the first like couple tours. Like we didn't really know. We were like, okay. I was like, we were like, oh yeah. And then we're like, oh man, like we really missed out, like not doing these earlier.
We didn't even know about them. To be honest with you, we didn't even know.
Right. Well, we weren't even like in the fan club like yet. And so I think we were just so new to all of it. And so, okay. So I don't feel as bad. So you guys, okay.
No, we had no idea until we talked to somebody that she had actually had an ultimate.
Okay.
And we were like, whoa, what? Like,
you're like, what is this?
And there were like different levels, and we're like, there's different levels. Like, oh my God, what? So,
no, it was such a dream seeing them back, and still remember it. So, we had pretty good seats, but not like now we're spoiled. Like when you get the fan club seats, it's like,
Oh my God.
can't sit far. I'm like a concert snob when it comes to boy
I
bands.
know. I'm a concert
right?
snob, period. We just went to see
Right.
Aerosmith.
Oh, awesome.
Aerosmith, they hadn't performed in 2 years.
Okay.
For some reason, decided, you know what? We're gonna go to Bangor, Maine, and we're gonna do a concert. I have no idea. And then they go to Boston, and then they do their residency in Las Vegas. I don't know if it was like a
cool.
warm-up concert because we're near Boston, so they were like, I will do this. Let me tell you, we got lawn seats, and I was like, I don't know if I can do this. Like, I have been in the front for everything. But I will say that because Aerosmith, and this is off topic, I mean, all bands are amazing.
Right.
But like, it was just being there was the experience. And so that was the one and only time that I would be like, okay with lawn seats.
Like Steve, like they're all like, I hope new kids are doing this till they can.
I know.
Did you see like the Rolling Stones and I saw and Aerosmith and all these amazing U2 and just all these people and you're just like, oh, it's amazing, they're doing love. So yeah, but I didn't, my friend and I, we didn't do Barstool till the first time till this year. So I feel like I'm like a little bit late to everything, but wow, that was
Barstools are the best.
Barstool, how do you go back then? I'm like,
you can't.
And we had Barstool for the first show this tour. So it was like,
that's true.
Man, although what show? It was San Diego.
Yeah. We had Barstools for our first show this year. And then it's like, I mean, we had a great time. Don't get me wrong. And we had great seats for the second night in Boston. Really good seats. But I mean, Barstool is Barstool.
Oh my God.
You can't beat it. You just can't.
Well, we had Ultimate and Barstool. So I was like, this is our first show. Like, oh man.
Yeah, that was I had Ultimate on my first show too. And I was like, nothing can top this.
It's fun to start it off like that though.
Yeah.
I always think though it's awkward to go through the first time and you're like, hi, I'm gonna see you again in a few minutes. It's always so awkward. You're like, hi,
I'm gonna be honest. I couldn't even talk. Like the first initial meet and greet, I said nothing because I was so nervous for the Ultimate. I don't think I said anything. Did I, Brooke?
I don't remember.
I don't think I said anything. I was just in my mind like, you just need to chill out. You need to chill out. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah, you went in front of me. Mm-hmm. You were before me. You were just before me. Yeah, no, I don't think you said anything.
I think I said something to Donnie, and I think
you did. He said you looked beautiful.
Oh, that's right. I was like,
yeah.
Donnie.
Yeah, he said you look very beautiful.
Was amazing.
Thank you. And this is my normal attire, so it was like a big and I said that to him. I'm like, just so you know, I don't do this every day.
I don't get all gussied up like this. I don't dress like a woman every day.
No. Don't even say it, Brooke. Don't say it.
No, Nikki said I'm going to. And I've said it already on the earlier episode. But Nikki, when we were in the hotel getting ready, she had it on and she's like, I feel like a woman.
Oh.
It was so funny.
I gotta get dressed up like that more often.
It's fun to get dressed up, everyone. It's
yeah.
Fun. But my thing is like people wear whatever they want, like people need to stop judging people at con. You know what I mean? It's like they're happy with that, let them be happy,
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
But I always my other thing, I feel like I have little things. I wear a different color solid for the Ultimate. Well, I've had 3 Ultimates, and so which is still very little compared to lots of people. But I did like a solid color, so I would know like I did pink, yellow, blue, and then I went back to pink. So then I'll do if I did another.
That's really cool.
I know, it's like so silly, but I don't know.
Love it. That's so cool.
So I'm like, then I can like differentiate which okay, that was that year. That was so.
Right.
I mean,
that's smart, actually.
I did send Kelly a message on TikTok because I had a friend that it was one of the first shows and they took a picture of like the framed picture that you could get. And I'm like, that's Kelly. She's in the picture. And you were on the Fenway. They showed your picture on the screen. I was like, there's Kelly right there.
No,
It was funny.
my picture, I was in Vegas. I was wearing the yellow dress, and this picture like is ending up everywhere. Like I just was like, so yeah, I guess yes. And so it was on and it's even on the website. And I was like, I guess when you sign those release forms, like I didn't really know that it actually like, I mean it's
I
fine.
didn't
But I was
realize
like,
that.
I was like, where's my free picture frame that I should get?
Right.
Right,
It
with
was
my
really
picture
cool.
in it.
Where's my free bar stool?
I know. I was like, I should be getting something. I got you guys free advertising and stuff. But I was like freaked out at first. I thought somebody stole my picture and was like using it. I know. I was like weirded out at first. And I was like, oh, okay. I get
I would
it.
be
So
weirded out too. I'm gonna be honest with you. I would be
I
weirded out
was
too.
weirded out. Well, no, the thing is that the date, that picture was 2017. And the picture everything was like different. So I was like, okay, something's weird. And but then it turned out to be really cool. Although I never got to see it in person because they said that it broke. It broke the actual like the two of the plaques broke. And so I never got to see it in person. So I was like really bummed. So
Oh,
They had it when we were at Mohegan.
well, when I went to San Diego, it was too windy, so they didn't put them out.
Oh, okay.
So I would have saw it in San Diego,
ah,
and they said that it broke in like Northern California. But it's
Oh.
like that's like my favorite ultimate picture. Everyone was just positioned like I just said group hug and all their hands. I just felt like it was no planning. It just was like I don't know. Everyone just went in, and it like still I got it framed obviously, and
It's the
myself.
best.
Oh,
Best.
it's oh, I love it so much.
That was like in my mind to recreate your picture, but
did you
like
try?
everything goes like just you just
Next ultimate, but say like group hug, everyone squeeze in because sometimes people like, it's like just get in tight,
Mhm.
and so just say group hug. And this year I did a back-to-back picture. So I always like to just kind of do something fun, like kind of my thing where I was like, I gotta do something different, and so Joe and I were back to back, and then Donnie and Danny, and then John and Jordan. So we were like
so
back to back.
cool.
Yeah.
I love it. I want to see
something
them.
different.
That's so cool.
So
that is so cool.
I'll send it to you. It was
Okay.
something fun. So yeah, it was fun.
So we've been speaking about boy bands, and Kelly sent us the cutest thing. So Kelly,
Oh my
you
gosh.
can tell a little bit, like, I don't know if you want to tell about like what you do and
Yeah.
how this whole came to be, but it's so cool.
Oh, you're so sweet. So I am a writer. I write film and TV. And obviously I'm like, I gotta write about my love of boy bands. And so I wrote a show called Fandom. And the log line is that three overzealous tweens launch a fan club to help skyrocket their favorite upcoming boy band to fame and must balance the struggles of everyday middle school and their new job. And it's a love letter to fans. Like there is a boy band involved, but the focus is on the girls because we haven't seen a show yet that focuses on the fans and the friends that you make. And it's actually inspired by when I did a fan club for an upcoming boy band that was in Chicago. And we did a fan club and did all these contests, and it was so cool. So it's definitely an inspiration of that. And I'm definitely trying to get it out there. I've had some close calls, and so I'm just waiting for that right person to come and grab this and and to make it, and trying to get a boy bander involved because get them as a producer because it's like what better than somebody in that world.
That
So
would be amazing. Joey
Absolutely.
McIntyre.
Joey
Just
McIntyre,
saying.
yes. Hey, Rick could be in the show. He was
Absolutely.
literally at the age the boys in the band are like 15, 16. So I mean, but no, it's like out of all the scripts I've written, it's like the most personal, and thank you guys so much for reading it. And I was saying earlier that the cool thing about it is that people that are tweens can watch it, but people that are also our age can watch it because there's all these little Easter eggs in there that like only New Kids fans might know, or and Backstreet Boys fans. There's a little bit for each one. I've done a whole 5-season pitch. Like I have everything ready to go to pitch it. So I'm like, we got
That's
a good.
amazing.
Oh my gosh. I loved reading it. It was so
I read
fun.
it twice because
I
read it like a couple weeks ago, and then I read it again today, and I was like, this is just, I could picture it in my head. Like I could see the characters, and it's very well written. And I can definitely, like, the feel of it, I would watch it. And I know my daughter would watch it. So
I'm gonna use your quotes and be like,
yes.
making your for my soul called forever.
Yes, for sure, because it's just, and I love the little things like the confetti mention and like little things like that. I loved the little mentions that you had all throughout. It was really cool.
And I had to name one of the characters after my best friend. So I was like, oh, yeah. So I was like, you're getting a name in there. And it's fun to just put people's names in general, but they're, and each episode is a different boy band song title. So that was really fun to go do. Yeah.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. So each episode, I don't know what the pilot is. I'll have to go look. But yeah, so it's like anything you can put that's boy band related, you know, and obviously it gets made, you're gonna have to have boy band appearances, you know. So
think of all the ones you could, I mean, think about it. Like
I know.
It would be so fun.
For real.
And they
also,
could be like
I want to know what
teacher
happens next.
or something. Just like something like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? It would be so cool.
The security guard.
Right.
Oh, yeah. The manager. Like there's well, the five, like, well, I'm not getting anything away, but the aunt who she loves it's called the 5 steps, which obviously is after, you know, step by
right
step. So, you know, the 5 steps, those 5 members, is my dream is to have a different member of each of the boy bands form that group as like the TV, you know, fake group. So we'll see. I know. So I'm like, it's got to happen. I'm like, I'm not giving up, and it's a show that we haven't seen yet. And yeah, so I thank you guys again for reading it. And
absolutely
gonna happen.
I love it, and I want to know what happens. I want to know what happens with Aunt Trish and Seth.
Yes.
You know what? I can send you guys the Bible if you want to know. I have the whole Bible, so it's called the Pitch Bible. So I can give you guys.
I would definitely be up for that. Because I like was like truly giddy like reading it. It's just fun. It's so fun.
Well, and what's so cool is that I can't wait to like use other people's stories. Like if someone's like, hey, like I got like, you know, I got a story, because I'm not using, you know, all my stories. Like I want other people's stories and, you know, friendships that they've had, or, you know, because it's like, again, it's focused on the girls loving the same boy band, but their friendship is more than that, right? Like they're there for each other. And being a tween is like the hardest, right? Like I don't know if middle school was my hardest years ever.
Yes.
And I wish I had a boy band then, because I'm like we didn't, because at like
because they left, like, they
left, and there was no, like, I did not have a boy band then, and so like I wonder if things would have been different.
I think they would have been. I still had my New Kids on the Block mirror though in my locker, I do have to say.
I love that.
I kept it. And people would be like, they thought it like I was being like ironic maybe, or like, but no, I was truly like, this is legit. Like I'm keeping this New Kids mirror, and I'm keeping it right here.
Did you have it for 7th and 8th grade then? Is it?
Yes, I had it for 6th, 7th, and 8th.
Nice.
And then I think I had it for a little bit like my freshman year, and I'm not sure. Our lockers weren't really designed to have a mirror. Like it's weird. Our lockers were like a skinny little
in high school. They were like really skinny.
Yeah, so there was no place to put a mirror, so I didn't end up. I don't think I used it my freshman year. But
oh, I love it. Well, we didn't have like YouTube. We didn't have things to go and like. We had video. We had like, you know, VHS tape, but we didn't have what kids have now. We're like, you know what? I'm really missing New Kids. I'm gonna go on YouTube and watch a bunch of videos. It's like you kind of just look back and you're like, wow, like
right. The first thing I did when I got on AOL is I looked for, like, when you were able to search for people, I was like, Joey McIntyre, Joseph McIntyre, Joe McIntyre.
Did you find him? Did you find him, or did you?
No,
find him?
I didn't find him. Okay, so we've talked about this, I think, Brooke. Remember, like I talked to somebody. Do you remember this?
I don't know. Maybe.
I was talking. I don't think it was him, and I think I got made fun of because I kind of did think it was him, but like I don't think it was him. I don't know. But so I may have had somebody validate that he did have an AOL screen name, and it may have been similar to the one I was talking to. So who knows? Who knows?
Right. Who knows?
Right.
I mean, I'm sure they all had them.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure.
I still have my first AOL. I use it for my like accounts and stuff like that. It's just like my
I have mine. I use it for shopping.
What was it?
I have mine and I use it for like shopping coupon
Right.
codes.
Yeah. Yep. Same.
I
Yeah.
still have mine, and I still have my explicit ones as well. Because I used to have Lance Bassass at AOL.com.
Oh my God.
And then I had Me for Lance B. And I will tell you, when I emailed him under Lance Bassass, because he was I am Poo-Foo, and he
Yep.
has validated this on Twitter, like back a
yes.
while ago. It was him, and he emailed me, hey.
He did. I was there. I saw
cried.
it.
I cried. I was like,
I saw it.
Oh my God.
it was just
And
like,
that was
hey.
like in like 2000.
Right.
That was like the height.
That was the height of like, yeah, BSB and NSYNC. And did you guys go to any of like Challenge for the Children's for NSYNC?
Oh, boy, did
Oh,
I
I
ever
would have loved
want
to.
I went. I think I went to like four.
No, it's hard in Bangor, Maine to get
Yeah.
anywhere.
I almost moved to LA though. That
You
was
did?
I came and visited. Long story short, came and visited with a friend. I'm surprised we didn't get killed because
Oh
she
my
told
gosh.
me it was a friend, and
Oh,
she
no.
had never met him before. But thankfully, and we stayed right on Venice Beach. He had a beach house on Venice Beach, so he was pretty well off, so it was okay. But still, he could have killed us. And the guy that he was, so he did jingles. He wrote jingles, and the guy from Fame. There was a guy that was in the show Fame.
Okay.
I don't remember his name, but he has black curly hair. And when I went to their house, his wife was trying to like convince me to stay and be a nanny because she loved people from Maine.
I remember
I actually
that.
thought about it for a second, like a millisecond, but I would be too homesick. It was just too far away.
Oh. Is that your only time that you came here?
So I went there. That was like 2000, right?
Okay.
Or nine, yeah.
Yeah, it was
2000.
right around then.
Right. And then I came for like a day. Literally, it was just flew in and then flew out the next day to come see Joe at Hollywood Nights. My husband and I. He took me for Mother's Day.
Oh, I want him to do that again. Joe, please.
Yes, it was incredible, and it was just it was an amazing experience. And we were tired, but it was so much fun. And we even got to meet Danny Trejo.
You got to meet who?
Danny Trejo.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah, actor. Yeah, yeah.
Is that how you say his last name?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
So he
Trejo.
owns a restaurant, and we went. It was right by Hollywood Nights. It was right where the venue was. So a bunch of us just went there to eat, and he came in, and we hung out. Like we talked to him. He took pictures with us. It was so fun. He's such a nice guy.
That is so cool. I'm excited to go see the drag show that Joe's in. So
Did you get meet and greets?
No, there's not meet and greets.
There's not meet and greets? For some reason, I thought there was a meet and greet. No?
I don't know. I haven't seen anything. I mean, I'm hoping he says hi after baby because I know he's pretty good about that.
Yeah, he is really good about that.
He's so good. I'm excited to go. I'm going to 2 of the shows. So
awesome.
I'm like,
that's awesome.
Like LA stuff because I can't always get to the East Coast for stuff. So it's kind of the same thing where it's like I'm like, yeah, something in LA because I can't get there. So but yeah, I'm excited.
Well, if you ever do come to the East Coast near Boston, let us know so we can come hang out. Because it's not too far. It's like 4.5, 5 hours with traffic sometimes. So it's
I
not
went
too
to
bad.
Boston. I saw like where Cheers was, and then but Boston's really pretty. Yeah, I've only been there once though. So
you got to go, and then you got to go see their childhood homes.
I know.
We did that. We did that
that's
just
awesome.
recently. Well, not recently. It's been like 4 years.
It's
Seems
been
like
yeah,
it.
it's been like 4 years.
Yeah, but we never had been, and we had friends that took us around and we saw where they used to live. It was just really cool.
That's so cool. Okay, I'm gonna have to. That will count as a. Because it's not filming location, but it's a
Yeah,
nostalgia. The
but it's still
nostalgia
nostalgia. Yes.
location.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. Yes. Oh, I totally will let you guys know. I know I need to make it out there. So the last time I was out there was for I went to go see New Kids in 2019 in Atlantic City. And it was one of
Ooh.
those shows that we did last minute. We're like, it turned out, and I was like, but I'm so glad we did because it was the last show before the pandemic. So it was
I
like,
was at that show.
oh, you were?
Yes.
Oh, man.
Yes. Right, Brooke? I was at Atlantic City,
Yes,
right?
you were at that show.
I ended up
I was just
actually-
thinking that.
we were in the like upper general admission, like the towards the
I'm
stage.
sure we were like probably right by each other and had no idea.
I actually had to leave like
Oh, no.
because I got like I started having an anxiety attack because just people there was just too much and
yeah,
the guys were like right in front of us. So of course everybody went, like so I didn't make it through the whole show, but it was fun
Oh,
while it lasted.
oh, yeah, that venue's really small because like the B stage is like right there. It was
It
like
was so small. I was like, oh my God, is this it? It's just a room. Like it was amazing.
But I will say, I don't know if I'd go there again because we ended up having weather and then we got stuck there for 2 days because they couldn't get on a flight. No, we were on the airplane and they said, you guys have to get off. Like the worst, right? So then it was July weekend. We couldn't get back. So guess what we did? We decided to drive to North Carolina and go to one more New Kid show.
Oh, hey, that's what you do. That's what you
We were
do.
like, yes. And again, thank God we did because who knew that what life would happen, right? And like that's kind of the lesson is that you gotta go do things that you love, and boy bands are one of them. Boy band shows, right? So
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
Was that
So
with Elle? Were you with Elle?
I was yes.
Okay,
Well,
because
yeah, we went to the Atlantic City shows. Yes, that was a crazy trip. That's a whole different.
okay, I saw Elle at the show, so you must have been right there.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I was. Oh my gosh, that is
That's
crazy.
so crazy.
Probably like in the back of like a picture. Now I have to go back and look to see if you are in like any pictures. Like seriously.
Well, Kelly, thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate it. We're gonna have to have you back on because there's so much more that I'm sure we can talk about. Like,
Oh my gosh.
Oh, absolutely.
You guys are the best. I will come back anytime you want. I can't wait to meet in person. Like
Yeah,
that's
I know,
looking forward
I
to
know.
that. So
I know.
like you gotta make that happen. So
We do.
yeah. And this
So,
was so much fun, and you guys have such a fun podcast. And
oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
That's so nice.
much. Well, that's it for this week.
Yeah, that's all.
So we'll see you next week. And until then, we'll be loving you forever.
And ever and ever.
never.
Amen. Bye.
Bye.